My mom only had one eye. I hated her. She was such an embarrassment to me. I promise you will learn so much from this story I'm about to tell. My name is Amarachi, and I'm 12 years old. I and my mom lived in a village called Adamawa Village. My mom sells crayfish and other foodstuffs at a daily village market square called Ori Market. Together with other market women, my mom can do anything just to make money that we needed to survive. But she was only an embarrassment to me. There was this day during my elementary school. My mom visits my school during a PTA meeting day at my school, and that was the first day she ever visited my school. But guess what? I was so embarrassed. How could she do this to me? I threw her a hateful look and then walk away. The next day at school, when I tried to approach my 3 friends. "Hey Amarachi, your mom only has one eye," all my friends laughed at me, including Ngozi, Amanda, and Annabelle. I was so ashamed of myself throughout that day at school. I wished my mom would just disappear from this world. So later that day, I went home after school dismissed, and I walked to my mom with my heart beating so heavily. I saw her, sat down inside the kitchen. I guess she was cutting some onion, about to cook a mala that evening for our dinner. I stood right in front of my mom while trying to look sideways, and I asked, "Mom, why don't you have the other eye? You're only going to make me a laughingstock. Why don't you just die?" My mom slowly raised up her head and looked at me, but did not say a word. I guess I felt a little bad, but at the same time, I felt good to think that I had said what I'd wanted to say all this time. Maybe it was because my mom hadn't punished me, but I didn't think that I had hurt her feelings very badly. Later that night, after I and my mom had finished eating, then went to sleep, I woke up in the middle of the night and went to the kitchen to get a cup of water from our local water pot. I spotted my mom crying by the corner in our room so quietly, as if she was afraid that she might wake me. I took a look at her and then turned away as if I did not notice she was there. I guess it was because of the things I had said to her earlier. Inside of me, there was something pinching me at one corner of my heart because of how much I hated my mother's situation. So I told myself that I would grow up and become successful because I hated my one-eyed mom and our desperate poverty. My mom was the only person I have in this whole world after I lost my dad. But at the same time, she was such an embarrassment to me. 2 years after I finished my college, my mom could not raise enough money to enroll me into the university. So one day, I was at one corner of my house thinking about my future and my mom's condition. An idea came to my mind, to leave my mom, and traveled out from this village to the city. Yes, I think this is a good idea. Besides, I'm now a big girl and I can also take care of myself. Amanda, my school days friend, asked me to come over and live with her in the city. Few weeks later, I packed all my Christmas clothes inside my big traveling bag. They are the only good clothes I had. I remembered how my friends would always tell me that city girls only wear good-looking outfits. Later the next morning, I was fully ready to start my journey to the city. I waved goodbye to my mom. I saw my mom cried as I took off. When I got into Abuja city, I had to hustle very hard to take care of my needs. Years later, I got accepted into the university to study accountancy, with all the confidence in me to succeed. So I worked very hard to support myself in school through my little roadside corn roasting business. 5 years later, I was done with my university and I got a good paying job. And that same year, I got married to a handsome young man without even letting my mom know. It was already 2 years after my graduation. I just hope that I'm doing the right thing. I lived in my husband's mansion in the city with my husband and our kids. Now I'm happier than I have ever been. I like it here because it's a place that doesn't remind me of my past. My happiness was getting bigger and bigger, not until someone unexpected came to see me in the city. "What? Who's this?" It was my mom, still with her one eye. It felt as if the whole sky was falling apart on me. Thanks goodness, my husband has already left to work. My little girl saw my mom and ran away. I guess she was just scared of my mom's eye. I asked her, "Who are you?" "I don't know you." as if I tried to make that real. I screamed at her. "How dare you come to my house and scare my daughter? Get out of here now." My mom, at her greatest surprise, she quietly answered, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I may have gotten the wrong address," and she left immediately. "Thanks goodness. She doesn't recognize me," I said to myself. I was quite relieved. I told myself that I wasn't going to care or think about this for the rest of my life. After that very day, my mom never visits me again. Until one faithful day, a letter regarding a school reunion came to my house. I lied to my husband saying that I was going on a business trip. After the reunion, I went down to the old shack that I used to call a house. Just out of curiosity there, I found my mother fallen on the cold ground. But I did not shed a single tear. She had a piece of paper in her hand. It was a letter to me. She wrote, "Dear Amarachi, my daughter, I think my life has been long enough now. And I won't visit you anymore. But would it be too much to ask if I wanted you to come visit me once in a while? I miss you so much. And I was so glad when I heard you were coming home for the reunion. But I decided not to go there too. For you not to feel ashamed, I'm sorry that I only have one eye, and I was an embarrassment to you. You see, when you were very little, you got into an accident and lost your right eye. As a mother, I couldn't stand watching you having to grow up with only one eye. So I pleaded with the doctors to remove one of my eye, so that I can watch you grow into a beautiful girl that you are. I was so proud of you, my daughter, and you're all I have in this whole world, after your father joined his ancestors. I want you to know that I gave you that my one eye with my whole heart. I was never upset at you for anything you did, even the couple of times that you were angry with me. I miss the times when you were still young around me. I miss you so much. I love you, and you mean the world to me, my dearest daughter. My world shattered. I can't believe that I hated the person who only lived for me. I cried for my mother. I didn't know of any way that will make up for my worst deeds and bad treatment towards her. Moral: never ever hate anyone for their disabilities. Never disrespect your parents. Don't ignore and underestimate their sacrifices. They gave us life and raised us even better than they got from their own parents. They keep on trying their best just to make sure that they give us the life that we deserved. All they want from their children is to love and respect their decisions, until we grow up into an adult and take care of them during their old age, just as they raised and care for us when we were kids. I hope you learned something from this story.